Good morning, everyone. If I can have everyone's attention, we'll get started. Appreciate everyone's showing up today and working with us. We are out on a public street and are working with traffic noise, etc. So we'll make that work just fine. I'd like to welcome everyone today to our display of the latest in 2010 clean diesel technology. My name is Alan Schaefer. I'm Executive Director of the Diesel Technology Forum. The Forum is a nonprofit organization dedicated to raising the awareness about the importance, progress, and potential of clean diesel technology. Diesel engines that power trucks and buses like these here today are the lifeblood of our economy. With that unmatched combination of power, efficiency, reliability, and durability, they move the goods and deliver the services our society demands. And thanks to the incredible accomplishments of engine and truck manufacturers, today they are doing it more efficiently and cleaner than ever before. Today, we're here to celebrate and recognize an important milestone, the progress of clean diesel technology in meeting the 2010 emission standards, which are near zero emissions. These trucks and engines are the first in their class to achieve the near zero emissions. Consider that it would take 60 of these 2010 model year trucks to equal the same particulate emissions from one 1988 vehicle. A 60-to-1 ratio for particulate is pretty darn impressive. Joining us here today are those that have played a role in this journey, representing government, environmental advocates, and industry, all of who share a piece of this success story we're about to celebrate. So with that, let me introduce our first speaker, and she is no stranger around here. Margot Oge is Director of the Office of Transportation and Air Quality at the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. Margot's career at EPA has spanned more than this entire 10 years that we've been working towards this celebration of clean diesel, and we're delighted that she's here to celebrate it with us today. So please join me in welcoming Margot Oge.
Thank you, Alan. Good morning. Going to have to fight with the traffic and my voice. It affects my Boston accent. You can see it's altered. Well, Alan, thank you. And the Diesel Technology Forum, where is Alan? Come here. Look at you. For not only for helping us today with the display of these extraordinary clean trucks, but also helping us celebrate the 10-year clean diesel efforts, and you and your members being key partners with our agency, state and local governments, and NGOs to achieve something that back in the mid-90s we would have never imagined we could have achieved. And that's how I remember diesel engines in the mid-90s, visiting New York City in the mid-90s and seeing a sign to a New York City bus that said something like the following: "You are safer in front of the bus rather than behind it." And Rich Castle, where is Rich? He tells me he was the father of that sign. So he's with NRDC. I think he's going to speak in a few moments. And clearly, the point that NRDC was trying to give at the time is there is a significant public health danger of breathing diesel exhaust from those dirty diesel buses. Now, if you told me back in the mid-90s that we could put the two words together, clean and diesel, I would say you're completely out of your mind. And here we are today to celebrate 10 years of clean diesel effort. Let me briefly tell you there are two efforts that have been going on the last 10 years. The first effort started with signing the first clean diesel truck and bus rule, and that's what you're seeing here today. That went along with a huge effort by the oil industry to reduce sulfur from diesels, which then enable diesel trucks that you're seeing today to be almost zero emissions. They can compete with the cleanest natural gas, cleanest gasoline engine trucks. Pretty unreal. That blueprint that was established in December of 2000, 10 years ago, has been the blueprint that the agency, working with some of the same members here of the Diesel Forum, took on to address emissions from all the other diesel engines, anywhere from locomotive, marine engines, ocean-going vessels, off-road equipment. When you look at the public health benefits of those programs together, when these programs are fully implemented, we're talking about preventing 35,000 premature deaths on an annual basis and millions of respiratory illnesses that are averted. So I would say this is pretty historic environmental effort, that it wasn't easy to happen. We didn't always agree early on in the process, but we're here today to celebrate a huge success story. The second thing that happened is a result of, again, this effort, this clean diesel truck effort. We realized early on with a number of the same stakeholders, industry, states, nonprofit groups, environmental groups, gee, we could take the same technologies that we're going to apply or similar to these clean new diesel trucks to the existing diesel fleet. Today we have 11 million diesel engines and trucks, both on-road and off-road, in the marketplace. And as you know, the beauty, one of the beauty of those engines is that they last for a very long time, 30 years. So wouldn't it be great if we can figure out a way to retrofit or even replace those existing engines with the newer strategies? And that's what we have been doing for the last 10 years. EPA has worked with, again, the same stakeholders to put a huge effort forward to address the existing diesel fleet. And the agency has spent over $500 million to date, has more than doubled by resources from other sectors. And today we're happy to report that thousands of engines have been retrofitted. The benefit to cost ratio of our efforts is 13-to-1. So again, thank you for all your efforts. None of this could have been done without the support of the Diesel Forum stakeholders, environmental groups, state and local governments. So we're moving forward for the next decade with the ability to say clean diesel engines. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Margot. And now another key participant in this 10-year journey to clean diesel technology, and the father of that campaign that Margot just mentioned. He is Rich Castle. He's a senior attorney with the Natural Resources Defense Council based in New York City. Rich?
I'm really glad Margot brought up the ad campaign that we ran in 1995, because it's a great thought to think and pause for a moment. Think where we were 10 years ago. 10 years ago, there was no such thing as a clean diesel. There was no ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel at the nation's truck stops. Particulate filters were not standard equipment on new diesel trucks. People literally held their breath when the bus pulled away from the curbs on Madison Avenue in New York and Connecticut Avenue here and cities around the country. And yes, we ran those ads in the summer of 1995, and what they actually said was standing behind this bus could be more dangerous than standing in front of it. And then the tag underneath said diesel fumes can kill, demand clean fuel buses. And we got clean fuel buses. By the way, for you reporters, if you go to my blog today, you can get a copy of that ad. It's at the NRDC switchboard. Just search for Clean Diesel 10 and you'll see it. But seriously, we have a lot to celebrate. We have so much to celebrate here. Thanks to EPA regulations that provided the necessary certainty so that industry could unleash their engineers to innovate and invest in clean diesel engines, we have clean diesel trucks on the road today. As a result of that certainty, as a result of that investment, we have trucks that are 90 to 95% cleaner than they were a decade ago. And as a result of those cleaner trucks, we will have fewer asthma attacks, cases of bronchitis, cancer, heart disease, and thousands of fewer premature deaths every year as a direct result of these cleaner diesel trucks and engines. To put it simply, Americans will live longer and breathe easier thanks to these cleaner trucks and cleaner diesel engines. So we have a lot to celebrate. And at a time when EPA regulatory authority is under attack, it's really important to take a step and take a moment and celebrate the successes that come from the certainty of EPA regulatory processes. So I want to close by obviously thanking Alan for inviting me, but I want to thank Margot and everybody at EPA and on the OTAC staff who worked hard over a decade to put the regulations in place, but also to put a series of incentives in place so that we had the full package to make the program a success. And I want to thank all the companies who are here today and who aren't here who did unleash their engineers to make the developments and innovations that led to these engines. And I want to again thank the Diesel Technology Forum for being a consistent partner with NRDC and all the stakeholders on the path to clean diesel. So thank you.
And with us today from Cummins, from Columbus, Indiana, is Srikanth Padmanabhan.
It's the 40th anniversary of Clean Air Act that has brought us significant environmental and public health benefits across society. Some of the most significant accomplishments are standing around us today in these engines that are delivering over 90% reduction in nitrogen oxides and particulate matter in just under 10 years from when EPA's heavy-duty highway rule was finalized. As Alan and others have said, the rule set out a long-term, stable framework where manufacturers could invest significantly in the technology to get us where we are today. But more than that, the rule has done more than that. By taking care of emissions of new engines, EPA was enabled to develop programs that reduce emissions from those vehicles already on the road, the 13 million that Margot talked about. And the conference that will begin momentarily is about celebrating that 10 years of success with those programs and looking forward. Also, by getting diesel emissions to near zero, EPA is able to turn their attention to greenhouse gas and fuel efficiency emissions with the forthcoming proposal. The great news is we are well on our way there with the 2010 regulations, with SCR technology that enables us to meet the stringent NOx standards and deliver fuel efficiency and greenhouse gas benefits up to 6%. We clearly have come a long way in the last 10 years, and the next decade promises to deliver similar progress as we continue to work together. Cummins wants to thank all our partners in this effort, Margot Oge and her team for their collaborative effort in all those areas, the Department of Energy in fostering technology innovation, congressional and administration leaders for supporting the programs, and all our customers, and one of our strong partners in all these areas that are here with us today, the Kenworth Truck Company, a PACCAR company. 2010 is truly a milestone for all of us, but more importantly, I look forward to seeing you all again in 2020 to celebrate even more. Thank you very much.